starting preparing for UPSC exams, and if one should want to, know what is the ideal age or step when one should start preparing for UPSC exams.
Um, I started preparation after graduation, and I was looking for different ways of giving myself a way of employment, and among them, public services attracted me a lot. And I won't say there is an ideal age, because you have seen Gaurav Agrawal at the age of 30 also going for the examination. You have seen people at the age of 21 also going for the examination. So what is required is an ideal spirit to work for the country. And the ideal age, I think, is just a misnomer.
Okay, so when you started seeking for different ways of employment, as you said, so what enticed you about UPSC or civil services?
Civil services basically attracted me because of its social recognition, the opportunity to make a difference in the society, and a job that offers you job security that is quite unparalleled in today's history.
So you were going through, I think, as I know, you were doing BTech, and then you thought of preparing for UPSC exams. So were you thinking of a? Were you not thinking about a job after BTech? Maybe you did BTech from IIT, and it's a reputed institution in itself. So didn't you seek any job, or were you preparing for any jobs? Were you working somewhere? Did you work before you started preparing for UPSC?
We were looking for different opportunities, as I said earlier also, and I thought we have various opportunities. I could work in a private company after graduation. I could go for MS. I could go for MTech. But I feel somehow that if my aspiration is to become a civil servant, it's better to start now, because ultimately this exam is it requires a lot of hard work, and you never know the amount of time it will require. So I thought I'll start immediately after the graduation.
So the syllabus is vast. Sometimes people say you may face anything under the sun during the UPSC exam. So what was your strategy when you started preparing for UPSC exams? That, let's say, in first 1 month I'll start prepare for GS only. So what was the plan for going for the whole preparation?
I would say my strategy, sir, has refined over the years. I have made 4 attempts, and while I gave 4 interviews, but the first 2 interviews and the attempts, I knew itself that I won't qualify for the finalist. But in the third and the fourth attempt, I always knew I would make it to the list. And the reason was I had gone for a strategy whereby I had basically tried to diversify all the topics. I tried to cover all the topics. What I did was exactly is look at all the topics, make it into subtopics, make short points for all of them, and summarize each topic in a page. Now, if you summarize a topic per page, what it does is it allows you to revise and repeat a number of times. Now, if you repeat a number of times, things automatically stay in your head, and you can recall all those things in the paper also.
That's a really good strategy you adopted. So, were there any standard books which you referred for during your preparation, for that matter, prelims or mains exams?
Definitely, this exam you would have standard books, and the standard books are basically, let's say, for history there is Modern Spectrum and Spectrum for Modern History. There is also Lakshmikant for Polity. These are the basic standard books each and every aspirant follows, and if you see the toppers list for the books, or you see any person's list of the books, they're all the same. What I feel more is this, that the exam nature has changed a lot. Questions won't appear much from the textbook. What is required is that you not only understand the things, you also remember the things, and you also know a way of utilizing those things as well. Because until unless you start utilizing the things you have studied, it does not make any sense by saying that I've read it a number of times.
Improvement. So, for UPSC preparations, you cannot fix that I have to study this much time or that much time. So, in your case, on an average basis, how many hours did you study? Did you go for a long haul? let's say 5 hours, 6 hours in a row, or you took short breaks and studied for short time and then take a break?
First of all, sir, I've taken 4 attempts, and so time really has never been a positive for my side. But for the younger aspirants who are preparing for a shorter span, let's say first attempt, second attempt, math max, what I would suggest is to them, you study only till the time you enjoy and you are able to take out something out of the topic. If you are just sitting in there for sitting purposes and you are not reading, you are not able to grasp the things, it's better to take a walk or a short nap. That will recharge you, and you can get back again to your studies very well.
So, what was your style of preparation? Do you follow a timetable, let's say set target, daily I have to read this much of topics, or in a week I have to, let's say, I have to complete 5 chapters of a book, or in a month I have to complete this book? So, what was your strategy? Was there any set target or timetable?
In my optionals, I always made a fixed strategy that these are the 4 sections. For example, paper 1, section A, section B, paper 2, section A, section B. So I made shorter targets in each and every section, and I basically stuck to those targets. But GS was much more fluid. I had done my static portion very well because I had appeared already 3 times in UPSC. So this time over, I just focused on answer writing and answer framing, and I didn't go much for reading of the static books. So I basically solved a large number of test series and past year papers in GS.
Okay. So you have already mentioned that you summarize your topic. So did you make some notes also? And how important do you think making notes is while you are preparing for UPSC examination?
I think notes making is very important for the simple reason that you cannot, for the purpose of revision, go back to the same book again, because it will take you the same time. And also the fact while you write or make notes, many mental faculties like eyes, ears, and your hands are involved in that situation. So you are much more alert and aware while you make the notes. And also it is made in your own handwriting, and it is much more legible and easy to revise. So notes making I definitely do, and definitely advise other people also. But while you make notes, make sure that you don't copy the things in verbatim from an article. You should try and capture the gist and the main points of the any issue or editorial that is mentioned.
Good. So you said that you read newspapers. So was there any 2 newspapers you read, or did you refer to any other newspapers? Let's say if these newspapers missed out any news which you think might be of your use. So did you read any other newspaper, and what was your style of studying from the newspaper itself? Did you, as you said, you made notes. So did you make notes from the newspapers also? You noted down points from those newspapers?
I think newspaper reading is a very, very critical section, and I think most students and aspirants are spending a huge amount of time, and they're not able to take out the relevant information out of it. So what I feel is you should read 1 or 2 maximum number of newspapers. More than that, it would be a bit of a stretch given large number of things we have to cover. So read the Hindu and Indian Express, because they give you both sides of the equation, with the Hindu being a bit of left-leaning newspaper, as they say, and the Indian Express brings out basically a right side or a rightist view perspective. So you'll get both the perspectives. You should jot down both the perspectives of an issue. And while you read a newspaper, always remember that newspaper supplies you news. UPSC will ask you views about issues. They'll not ask you news. So whatsoever is the news, try and figure out what is the underlying issue in it. Prepare that issue. That issue would be critical for you, because UPSC will ask the issue only. So to prepare that issue, you should segregate that out. Prepare its, let's say, background, prepare its pros and cons, prepare its solutions and recommendations. That's it. More than that is not required.
So it's been a long time, 4 years you have been preparing for UPSC, and sometimes you may lose focus also. Maybe sometimes you are stressed. So how did you keep focus and necessary momentum to go along and just give it your 100%. How did you manage it, and how should the newcomers do it, those who are preparing?
I have been fortunate enough on my side that I have had a wonderful family to support me always, and my friends and my teachers have always supported me. But to the younger aspirants, if they are alone from the family and they're staying alone, I would say that you just work hard and work hard. Let the fruits be decided by God, because we won't decide the fruits. And give your honest attempt and be satisfied that you tried, and that's it. Because ultimately, we must remember this, and as a society, also, I wish to say this as a message, that we should try and celebrate hard work and not success alone.
Right.
Countless aspirants toil day in and day out. They don't get recognized. Each one of them needs to be recognized and celebrated because they invested their whole lives, or let's say few precious years of their life, into this preparation.
So for UPSC you have to attempt questions and questions. So did you join any mock test series, and how important it is to practice these test series when you are preparing for UPSC exam?
I didn't join any mock test series, so you won't find myself as an enrolled student of any test series. But my friends were enrolled in lots of test series, and I came in contact with them, and we did intensive discussions of the question papers they were framing. Along with that, I also solved UPSC past year mains papers. What we did, in fact, was utilize all those topics. We framed mentally all those answers. We started discussing after making those answers. कि आप क्या सोचते हो? What I am thinking about. We used to basically collate the answer and then summarize that particular thing.
So you prepared discussed preliminary papers and mains both, right?
Both papers.
So there are 3 stages of the UPSC exam. So what was your strategy for prelims as well as the mains exam, and did you follow any integrated approach for preparing both prelims and mains, and or you went for it separately? Let's say when you are facing prelims exams, you just focus on that and leave the main aside when you clear the prelims and then start preparing for it. So what was your strategy?
I think in pre and mains, the students should always have an integrated